nearly half of all British men, over half actually, about 60% say that they are concerned about the size of their manhood.
Meaning concerned as in small?
Worrying that it's too small. Yeah, and we're joined today by three, well, I would say three of the country's bravest men, actually, because there aren't many that would come and sit on the sofa. I know you're all a bit nervous. Please don't be. We're going to be as sensitive as we can.
We've got Jack, and we've got Clive, and we've got Ant. And, lads, do you know, the first thing I want to say to you, if we're talking about 60% of the country is concerned that they're too small, does that not make small the norm?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by definition, average, it means that half of us are average or less.
Yeah.
And if more than half of us are worried about the size, that's just crazy.
Do you know the other thing I say? As my wife and I were in Rome last summer...
We did. We had a conversation, didn't we,
my
about
wife
that?
noticed all the classical... She had great interest in the classical statues that were there. And you noticed what?
They're all very small. And I thought, have you...
Yep, I've noticed that as well, yeah.
Yeah, you've noticed that as well. Yeah. And the thing is, I suppose, that men don't talk about it. It was even when I said to Eamonn, gosh, you know, all the statues, aren't the penises small? And he went, all
so Yes, I was looking at the aesthetic value overall, but just you.
So we all know that men don't like to talk about these things, Jack. So have you ever spoken to any of your friends when you were younger? When did you first start thinking, I'm not as the right size?
I was probably about 18.
18.
In the change rooms at football, all the lads then would just start laughing, taking the mick out of you, getting a bit of banter, like, nothing too horrible, like, but just normal banter you get between lads. And then, in the end, you just think, oh, am I really smaller than everyone else?
But, Clive, could I ask you, is that then regarded as a handicap, or is that sort of like, look, it's small, but we can cope with it. It works for us.
Personally, I don't see it as a handicap, no. Like you say, it works perfectly fine for me, you know.
But you must have compared yourself, like you were saying, Jack.
Yeah, no,
you know,
I have
you're in the
done,
showers at school or whatever.
And like you say, in school, you do get little, not bullying as such, but, you know, get named, banters and all this, niggled. And you just have to deal with it, to be fair. So
and how did you deal with it?
I don't know, really. I just sort of let it go over my head, and I'm quite a bubbly person anyway, so I sort of just had a laugh and tried not to let it get me down.
Well, let me put it this: you can deal with it in your own way, because it's only you that has to live with it or be bothered with it. Then a partner comes into your life, Ant. How do you deal with it then? Is that a sweat? Is that a worry? What?
Oh yeah, it was a terrible worry, especially in my teens when I was growing up. And you know, when you're like 18, nobody knows what they're doing in those ways anyway, and it's just one more worry to make life impossible. But it's only been the last couple of years since I started talking about this issue at all, and my wife was completely surprised that I had a concern. Because all the way through the 16 years that we'd been together of my not discussing it, she'd never been aware there was a problem.
And she'd never said anything to you about it.
Yeah, and it finally sunk in after all of those years of that. And perhaps it isn't a problem. I mean, she's never mentioned, she never said anything, she never had a problem.
What about you, Jack? Because you're single.
Yep, single,
So what about you with girlfriends and
to be honest, I've never had any problems with it at all, to be honest. Like, you overthink sometimes, but no girls have ever said anything, never had any complaints or anything in the bedroom, so...
somebody has tweeted, actually, which I thought was very interesting. She says, Becca, it's not about the size of the engine, it's about the driver, Clive.
Exactly. I'm a very good driver.
Yeah, exactly. So there are ways.